Okay, let's take a look at this match I had against Shane Fishman. He's a really good and highly respected competitor in the Jiu-Jitsu world, good Canadian boy. This is a little bit older match from 2016, but let's take a look what happened. This was the second round of the Mind Games tournament in Truro, Nova Scotia, and I'd won my first match. Shane Fishman had won his first match, and this is basically no gi. It was 6 or 7 minutes, but no points, and it went to EBI overtime if there wasn't a winner in regulation. Just missed the first little bit, but looks like Shane Fishman pulled and got me in reverse De La Hiva, and I'm trying to pass. And dealing with this position, trying to get to a headquarters, I'm trying to stuff that knee, his right knee down. He wants like an X guard or single leg X, and I'm trying to float my way over to mount. Now I'm going for a rolling Kimura attack. And now we're kind of getting in almost like a Berimbolo type of position, crab ride sort of thing, where he's trying to lace his leg through and take my back, and I'm trying to take his. And see, once he gets that hip grip, now that means I got to bail out of this position and get my butt to the floor. Because you almost kind of have a 50-50 situation where you kind of have the same thing on each other. You both potentially could take the other's back. But if he gets a hip grip and he has that other foot on your calf, he has a way better chance of getting the angle. So you have to just abort mission, try to bail out hips to the mat, and that means your hips aren't on him. And now I'm trying to pass from a half guard and trying to come around. Now I'm trying to pass the reverse De La Hiva again. See, I got the hand on the hip, move back just enough to disengage the hook, and then try to back step to the other side and try to go for the Kimura on the pass. I was trying to combine submission passing with pressure passing. And taking a lot of grips on top, trying to hit the back step again. As Shane Fishman tries to get that grip on the hip and come up, I'm trying to run my legs away from him so he can't trap me into a half guard. He turns, goes to turtle. I briefly had a front headlock, and then he tried to re-guard, and I jumped around the legs into side control. So here, see, I'm playing like a close range back step. Here he could potentially come up for top position, but I have a post on the knee. And now I step my legs towards his head so he can't trap me with his legs. Post a hand to the inside of his hip. And now from here, I should have tried to hold the front headlock longer. That's not a position that I've worked on a lot since this was years ago now. Something you can always try to see in yourself to do better. But now I have side control and try to go knee on belly right to mount as he bridged. Threatening to take the back. He still has control of the head. A lot happening. And now I got one hook in and an attack on the choke, but he's got his face turned and he fights the hands. A lot of important details there. First, see how I bring my knee up high, my right knee up nice and high, so then when I go up to go knee on belly to mount, it's going to make it harder for him to trap my foot. But he tried to bridge, and as he tried to bridge, I tried to move behind him to go and take the back. But he was mindful not to go too far. And he still had control of my head as I tried to sit to take the back. I don't quite have it yet. I'm still trying to post. Now I got the choke threatened immediately when I already have one hook in. And I always tell people to attack the choke and the hooks at the same time. And this is a pretty good bite. But I didn't quite have the grip. I switched to palm. And Shane Fishman is obviously a tough dude and a very game competitor. And he hung in there. He just was able to get a hold of the wrists and pull the hand away. And now I tried to recover the position, but he was able to take half guard. He's got my leg trapped. And now I'm facing the legs again in a reverse underhook position, trying to threaten the Kimura also. I'm sure you guys know this can be a tricky position when you're facing the legs trying to pass because your balance can kind of feel off. So it's important that you keep your toes curled in behind you and your foot that's not trapped close to your butt for base. Shane on the bottom could still have potential to sweep, go for the back. And see, he's trying to set up almost like a head and arm style grip, and he's loading me up. He's got my hips over his hips. Now he has potential to go for the back here, and I have to move my hips off of him again. I'm trying to post on the knee or on the hip and just put my butt on the floor rather than on him, but now he's got a nasty grip on my wrists there. And I quickly recovered to try to take the back again. Nice little scramble. And I tried to go mount, but recovered to half. Just pay attention to how anytime basically my butt's on the floor, I'm in good base, but anytime he's able to load me up and get my butt over his chest or over his hips, that's danger for me, because now he can start to try to take the back or sweep, right? Here he almost took my back. He's got a good grip on the shoulder, but I was able to get that post on the knee and move my hips away from him. But I'm in danger here, and I know it, and I'm trying to move my hips away. There's still potential that I could maybe take his back or try to pass his guard from this as well. But right now, this is just a defensive movement, and right now, see how he's able to get that grip on my wrist? That's a nasty grip to deal with, and I tried to recover to guard at first, but I was still behind him, so I tried to switch. He kind of fell over, and I quickly tried to take the back. Once you know you can't get the back anymore, mount is the next best option, so that's what I tried to do, but he wisely trapped the foot into a quarter guard. We get close to the edge of bounds, and the referee resets us. And remember, the rules always play a part, and in this situation, there's no point scored. It's submission only, and we go to EBI overtime if it's a tie, and that's not a common rule set for around here in Nova Scotia and the Maritimes for whatever reason. But right now I'm trying to pass the half guard and keep Shane Fishman flattened out. Keep his back on the floor. See how I'm trying to use my left foot on the inside of his knee to free my right leg. But he knows it, and he's trying to deny my grip with his hand. He hit a nice bridge there to recover. He got that butterfly hook inside. Now he has 2 butterfly hooks in, and he goes to X guard right away. Things can get really tricky when the guy gets both butterfly hooks in. Watch how quick I'm in a good position. He hits a bridge, recovers, gets the right foot inside, and now he has both feet on the inside of my legs here. He has the inside position with the legs. Now he grabs a hold of my leg, and he easily goes to X guard. He's got me totally out of balance. I have to post my hands to the floor to recover, and then I quickly turn towards him and just kind of untangle my leg, because I still want to stay on top. I always tell people, if you're on top, stay on top. You don't just want to go to the bottom like I see people do sometimes. And Shane Fishman is doing everything he can to try to get on top or try to threaten a sweep and get a submission. Now it looks like he's threatening a hook sweep. Now he's trying to get in on the double leg, but I stood up really high. That's what I like to see some more of my own students do. Like when the guy tries to double leg you, it wasn't anything real technical. I just stood up here and just kind of forced him back down. Sometimes you just have to be stubborn and just not accept it. But that was a nice attempt. And I think Shane Fishman's usually a middleweight or maybe even middle heavyweight. He does quite well on the IBJJF circuit, and I'm usually a lightweight. So I knew in this match I was going to have to try to be fast and explosive. So we're back to this half guard battle. Shane Fishman puts in the knee shield. I tried to back step around it. See, we're seeing a lot of the same patterns. I tried to step back around to the other side. Looks like I have side control for a brief second, but I tried to go to mount, and he's able to re-guard again. Back in the half guard battle. That's why right now I'm spending a lot of time in classes showing half guard moves, because you can see this match, there's been a lot of time spent in half guard, and I didn't go in intending for this to happen. I was just trying to work my guard passing, and sometimes you just end up there. And we missed a brief clip of the match, but it's still essentially the same battle. There was like an inversion attempt, and then I was on the bottom briefly, and see how I attacked the neck to go to front headlock and circled to get on top. And that's another instance of just insisting to be on top. I'm just not accepting the bottom here. I attacked a guillotine to get his hands to come in, went to front headlock, and then tried to take the back and really wanted top position if I couldn't get the back, and he recovered butterfly. From here, I'm likely going to look to force half guard again, but Shane Fishman has a good underhook. Now I go for the guillotine, but he uses that to get on top. And my mistake here was once I locked the guillotine, I should have put my shoulder on the mat, my right shoulder. But he used the momentum to get up on top, and then he immediately is into a pass and forces me to be defensive, so I couldn't try to get back on top or force a stand-up. So that was a really smart move by him. So now we reset in the middle, and my guard play will probably look a lot different than his because I play a lot more open style guards. So see how I'm playing with the grip on the ankle? That gives me flexibility to try to either go De La Hiva or try to go inside for single leg X. But as he's trying to pass, I was forced to go butterfly. Now I have a hold of the leg. Looked like I was trying to go for an inside heel hook. Heel hooks were legal in this event. And now I'm back into a butterfly, but I'm always trying to control distance. I don't want him getting in for a pressure pass because he's a bigger guy than I am. And I want to be the one in control of the distance. from here, try to wrap his head up with a guillotine. That's always a good idea, to try to get up on top or threaten a submission. But he's doing a good job of keeping me on my back and just kind of keeping me busy. He's always using his hands effectively to clear grips. I tried to get a bite on a heel hook there, but it wasn't there. He's always trying to pummel legs and hands in. He forced me to turtle. That was a nice move by him. That was a very nice sequence of passing moves by Shane Fishman. Let's look at that again. So see, I lasso with the left leg, but he's going to move enough, and now he's going to post the hand on my leg, and now he's going to get a leg drag basically and spin me almost like a top. See, and now I had to go to turtle, go to my knees. He jumps over, he's got the seatbelt, now he's looking to go for the hooks, but I shook him off. Just raised my hips enough that he started to kind of tumble over, and now I'm in closed guard. And out of all that, at least I regained top position. So now I end up on top in his guard, and now he's got a hold of his shin. But I post hands on him, stand up, trying to pass open guard, but he stands up as well. And now it's going to be a battle for grips. He attempts an arm drag and then just sits to guard. So now we're hand fighting again. Now I'm looking to force half guard again. He pummels the butterfly hook in. He's the one controlling the distance right now. But we hit the end of regulation here, and we go to the EBI overtime round. And if you don't know what EBI overtime is, basically you get to start on the person's back or on an arm lock. We both chose the back position. So right now, Shane Fishman has me on the underhook side. What I need to do is get my head below his head to the mat and get my shoulders to the floor, start to turn in towards him to escape this. And he's just going to do everything he can to not let me do any of that. He wants to keep his head where it is and just keep threatening chokes, keep getting a hand across. Now, going belly down is never a good idea. I should not have done that. Puts me in a worse position, and now he's going to have a better chance to get on the attack. He switches to a body triangle now, which is tough to deal with. And he's just always keeping me busy. At this point, I can only think defense and not escape, right? He's tying up wrists really well. It's going to be really tough with that body triangle. He's got starting a dig in with the choke with his right hand. I'm trying to tie up his wrists. But if you can't move your hips away from him, you're going to have to escape at the head and shoulders. And he's just keeping me too busy with choke attempts. He switched his arm to the overhook side now. And now he gets the hand under. And now he's tight on the chin, but still gets the finish. Very nice. So now we switch. And this is a tough situation because I have to submit him since he submitted me in that kind of top of the first inning, if you want to call it that. And now see how I have my hips connected over just one of his hips. Usually I'd really want to try to take my time in this situation and try to cook the guy, but I really threatened the choke, tried to threaten it right away because I knew I probably needed a submission in probably a minute or so. And it looked like it, it's decent. Still have the hooks in, but he's doing a good job of moving around, getting an angle. See how he's still fighting with his feet? His chin is likely down, and now he's started to escape his hips over. He's turning to the side, and he's out. Shane Fishman wins by EBI overtime. Very nice match against a great competitor, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.